I gotta tell you, I feel distinctly unsafe recording in my office today because yesterday I lost track of one of those gigantic, disgusting house centipedes in here, and mm, don't like that.
They have really short lifespans, I think, right? So it's probably maybe it's died already.
I would assume so. I would hope so.
I have no idea what the lifespan is. I'm turning on my computer. I'm
I
chilly.
wasn't even the one who tried to kill it. Kyle was because I was sitting here on the computer. He was in the beanbag. And then midway through talking to me, he just goes, "Hey, can you come here for a second?" I was like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" And as soon as I was out of the office, he goes, "There's a giant fucking creepy crawly on the wall in there." And he tried to get it with like the vacuum hose tool.
Mhm.
But apparently all that did was make it like fall down behind my desk. And then he lost track of it.
Yeah.
So I am like a little bit afraid for my life, but I think it's fine.
I don't think they like bite or anything.
No, they're just disgusting, and if one touches me, I will pass away on the spot.
Okay.
Just, putting that out there. I told you about the number of times that I saw them in wells, right? Like, I would see them on the floor in class, and then I would just be like, watching them the entire rest of the class, like, don't fucking do it, bro.
Oh yeah, I get distracted by any insects in my classrooms. There was a bee or a wasp, something that flies that has a stinger that was in the room for the department meeting last week. I
Oh,
don't
and
think
I didn't
anybody
even,
saw it.
I was completely and totally unaware.
It was in the far window, and I kept staring at it and looking around, but I'm like, how's no one else seeing this? Oh, I have actually been like in the middle of teaching a class and a spider rappelled down from the ceiling directly in front of my face.
I think you've said something about this before. I would have
Oh,
died.
shit.
Like, I would have chosen to simply cease to exist on the spot.
Yeah.
Like, and I
It's
wouldn't have
funny
had to,
how
like, take any action to cease to exist. I would have just Thanos'd out.
like you get a bee or even just a fly in a classroom and everything goes off the rails.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody can focus.
No,
It's that
literally, the one of the, like, just the worst experiences, like, possible. A bee in an elementary school classroom.
mm,
Just a bunch of kids. Like, this has happened multiple times while I was a child. Just a bunch of kids in a room that are scared of bees.
bees.
Bees? Yeah, no, it's bad. Enjoying my
Yeah.
Trader Joe's chai latte once again.
It's just that time of year for bugs, man.
I
I keep
know, I
finding
hate it.
I keep finding random stray ants in my upstairs bathroom. Like, why upstairs? Why the bathroom? I don't know where they're coming from.
That is a little weird.
Mhm.
Um, just want to start off with a quick side note for anyone who's listening. Brittain Ashford of Great Comet and Ghost Quartet, and I might be forgetting something, I might not be. But either way, she's releasing an album, and she released the first single off that album. And it's really good, and I will link it in the description for anybody who wants to listen to it. But that's just a fun little I'm excited about a thing. But I think we've already mentioned alluded to the fact that we were in the same place last weekend.
Hold on, because the way that I read that first line in the document, I read it as this person is like, when somebody says like, "I don't give a single fuck."
Yeah,
I read that as like, this person never gave a fuck, and now they're giving their first.
no, no, their first single off
Yeah,
of an
yeah.
album.
Noun versus verb.
So clearly you have not recovered from last weekend.
Never.
Good. Um yeah, we were in the same place last weekend for a film festival. And
Mm-hmm.
man oh man, that was a time. Do we have anything we feel is worth sharing from that experience?
Ooh. I would just say broadly, we finished most of the recording by like 11:30
Yeah, that was
at
good.
night. Yeah. And then it came down to just the two of us doing a lot of editing. Our original cut being 12 minutes.
And it was very much, and it was only supposed to be 3 minutes. We
Yeah.
got away
Yes.
with 6 because our
Yep.
team was not officially competing in the film
Yeah.
festival. So,
Exhibition piece. Um, and then I think just the beauty of the fact that I locked my office keys in my
oh
office.
my god.
I think
How did I already
that's
I already like have blocked that out of my mind. I was like, you just reminded me of the fact that that happened.
well, because importantly, like we were actually almost entirely done at that point.
Mhm.
But we just had gone over to my office to just do like a quick, like, what, 5-second recording or whatever of
Mhm.
me saying. And when we left my office, I accidentally picked up my research lab keys instead of my office keys because they were both laying on my desk.
And I think what
Right?
you said verbatim when we got back to the computer lab was, "This is want to hear the dumbest fucking thing I've ever done in my life."
But keeping in mind, this was like 4 in the morning.
Yeah, no, we were very sleep
There's that part
deprived.
too, yeah. So I, called campus police to come unlock the door. And I don't, how long were we waiting? Maybe half an hour
About, yeah.
before I suddenly thought, man, I wonder if my research lab keys work in my office door.
Turns out they do.
So we got home like 7 a.m.,
That sounds about right.
somewhere in that neighborhood. Yeah, and then you slept until 6 p.m.
Shut up. I was tired, and it's not my fault that you can't stay asleep to save your life. Luna?
Luna just jumped into my lap.
Is that like the first time that's ever happened?
Yes.
I technically caught that on camera, even though she's very much out of frame.
Oh, hi.
Oh, that's so
She,
cute.
she wanted attention. And normally she just walks around and meows and rubs things and looks for trouble, but this time she jumped up and put her little paws on my leg, and I was like, yeah, she just jumped up.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
thank
That's so
you. You're so
cute.
cute. Yeah. Good kitty. Oh,
But yeah,
yeah.
shut up. And it's not my fault that you can't, like, sleep like a normal person.
Yeah, but it's not just that you slept till 6 p.m., it's that you then went to bed like 5 hours later.
Dude, we were up for like 24 hours straight.
So you slept 3 hours later than I did, and then went to bed an hour earlier than I did, and then slept 2 hours later.
Shut up.
You
You
want to
know,
sleep, that's all I'm saying.
this is why you're exhausted all the time, because you don't do these things.
Is it that I don't sleep enough, or you sleep too much?
I felt very well rested after having done what I did. Like, not the like
Uh-huh.
disgusting where you like sleep too much and you're like, I wish
Yeah.
I didn't exist.
Mm.
I felt great.
I
The
did later on that day on Sunday after you left take a nap. Um and then I woke up and I was gonna text you that I did feel like a salamander. I really did.
That's how I felt after I like fell asleep on the table in the editing lab for like an
Mhm.
hour, and then I woke up and I was just like, who am I? What year is it? Like, just bad vibes all around.
Yeah, and when you were sleeping, I went on a quest that was, I guess, just doomed. I don't
Oh my
know.
god, yeah. You got
Because,
stiffed by a vending machine.
yeah, I just wanted some candy and some Mountain Dew to keep myself, awake, power through the editing. And I tried to get two different kinds of candy, and it gave me two of the same thing, which ended up being gross anyway, the weird tropical Mike and Ike's.
Oh yeah.
And then I tried to get Mountain Dew, and it didn't actually dispense my Mountain Dew.
Big sad.
It was, yeah. And so I had to continue on with just crappy candy and no caffeine.
But we did do it.
Yeah, but I went to multiple vending machines. I significantly shortened that story.
Oh wow.
That didn't work, and I went on long journeys and walks, and it's weird walking through academic buildings in the middle of the night,
Oh yeah. No, it's trippy.
especially if it's not your own academic building.
No,
Because
oh
at
my
least on
god.
the anymore.
The film that I did with Grace and Sam and Emma for 2019.
Mm-hmm.
I was filming from inside a locker in Wells at like 2 in the morning. Very weird
Mm-hmm.
experience. Like, you ever just like have those moments where like you're doing something weird and it's sanctioned weird? Like they're like, yeah, we're gonna keep the academic buildings open because this special event is going on. But it like
Mm-hmm.
hits you in the middle of doing said sanctioned weird activity, like just how strange the situation you're currently in is. And
Mm-hmm.
that happened to me inside a locker in Wells
It's an unusual
with a
experience.
camera at like 2 in the morning.
Just trying to find. Oh, here it is. Um, I'm on the Insomnia website
Ooh, we'll link
because I
that. That'll
wanted
be
to
fun.
see if they actually posted ours, and they did.
Yes.
So anybody who wants to can go to geneseo.edu/insomnia, click on videos, and then they'll all be listed. And ours is Com Squad. That's how
Oh,
it's listed on
wonderful.
there.
They did put our team name in there.
Yep. So you can actually see the video that we are
And you can
talking
see
about.
everybody else's, because I'm sure they're all wonderful.
Yep.
So,
There's like 8 of them in there, something like that. The rest of them are under 3 minutes.
yeah, because we didn't think about how ambitious our storyline was until it was way too late.
See, all the other teams, you're limited to 4 people for this reason, and we had 6 of us that did the majority of it.
Yeah.
The thing, so
And like even more people that technically showed up once.
yes, some
So,
of whom may have gotten cut out, but
I pretend I do not see it. But so there's our excuses, I guess.
we tried so hard.
We did try really hard and I think we did a good job. But another thing that happened to the both of us this past weekend, this will be dropping. No, because our final, we're recording this on.
April 7th.
Yeah, we're recording this Wednesday, March 29th. It's going to drop on April 7th, but from where we are currently standing in time, tomorrow is the final Death Note stream. So we finished Death Note. Shut up. I was
That's
gonna.
the short stories.
Oh, you already
Is
told
yours
me about
right?
this. I was gonna save this for. I have multiple things for the Weekly Worsening because of who I am as a person. So I'm
Yeah.
gonna spend one of them now from my local indie bookstore.
You know how I showed you that cool box set that has the thing that like folds down and whatnot?
Did you get it?
Coming next week.
Oh, you know how else? I have so many things. I'm so much worse this week. I don't know what happened, but I finished Chainsaw Man today.
You're way too far ahead of me. I don't have time.
Dude, it's 4 volumes. I read 2 per day.
Yeah, that's an insane amount of time. I got like every minute scheduled.
Oh, I was gonna say, didn't you tell me the other day that you read 3 in one sitting?
That was my last 3 week free weekend.
Oh,
Free
well,
weekend.
I'm gonna say get good.
My next free weekend is going to be the weekend of March 21st. Not March 21st. Wow, April 21st. So, almost a month from now.
You better not. I better not be. I'm not. I'm not gonna wait a month to talk to you about this.
Well, I will not be home at any weekend until that point.
Bring them with you, bestie. Anyway.
Yeah.
But in light of the fact that we have finished Death Note and are
Mm.
much worse as people because of it, I would like to discuss this question that I thought of, I think, while I was watching it through with you the first time because I watched it again to take notes. And I just never brought it up, probably because we had the awkward moment of like, and technically we're still under this order at the time of recording because we finished it and then we kind of just had to have this moment where we do the Christian Bale and Kermit nodding at each other gif because we have to save all of our like major opinions for the stream.
Uh-huh.
But I'm gonna say that we can talk about this now because I think it makes an excellent discussion question. Do we think that Light Yagami died a virgin?
So the main character of Death Note, the wielder of the Death Note, Master,
Disgusting little
people don't know.
prick that I hate so much.
She has jumped up for a second time.
Damn, this is progress, girl.
Yeah, this is wild. Um, yes.
Interesting, because I asked Kyle this and he said no.
Like, it's hard, right? Because he was living with Misa.
That's my thing.
No.
Like, he's a sociopath, a psychopath, and, like, if we learned anything from last podcast on the left, a lot of superficial charm there. So, like,
Yeah.
I feel like if he, like, it's kind of implied a couple times that, like, girls have low-key been, like, throwing themselves at his feet for a hot minute. Like, he's popular.
Yeah.
So, like, I don't think it's not that the offers weren't there.
Yeah.
But I think I think he was way too focused on his mission with the Death Note. And I think that he was probably holding it over Misa the entire time.
Mm-hmm.
Like using like if like, oh, if you do XYZ, like I'll finally sleep with you. And then he just never did because he's a manipulating piece of shit.
Yeah.
So I firmly believe that Light Yagami died a virgin.
Yeah. So I figured I don't think he had any interest in it really. Like all these beautiful women throwing themselves at him, he's just like, yeah, whatever.
And Kyle was like, "Oh, like
No.
what about Kiyomi?" And I was like, "No, like I don't like." Also, like, when would he have gotten the time? Like all of their
Did they
meetings.
imply
Hmm?
that they did it in the hotel room?
I don't know
I don't
because
think
they were. He was always wired.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which, like, yikes.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I firmly believe that Light Yagami died a virgin, and he deserved it.
Yeah. I honestly believe that if he were not a virgin, he only did it as a form of manipulation.
Oh yeah,
Like, I
100%.
don't think he had any actual interest in it.
Yeah,
But yeah, like all these women throwing themselves at him, he's just like, yeah, whatever. Like he doesn't care.
I hate him so much.
So yeah, I think he probably was.
I hate him so much. We're getting ahead of ourselves, but I mean, the stream will have already happened by the time that this is released to the
Yeah.
public. So I'm so glad he's dead.
Yeah, I mean the very fact that we're talking about the fact that he's dead is already kind of like a
Yeah.
I don't know.
I
But
mean,
this
we've
come out and
also
talk,
mentioned the fact that we have been progressing through Death Note, not just on the stream, obviously, but on the podcast multiple times. So I feel like if you were assuming that it wasn't going. Should I have said spoilers? Yes, probably. And will I put it in the description to be safe? Also, yes, because I like to be nice. And frankly, I think there are some series where there's kind of an unspoken rule, Twin Peaks, for example, that you don't say shit.
yeah. No, that would really ruin that
Because,
show.
like, Twin Peaks, like, I have definitely said this on the podcast before, but, like, that is decades old now. And I was still, like, when I watched it for the first time, I still managed to, like, Google it a couple times. And no one said anything. Like, there's kind of this, like, unspoken agreement of, like, find out if people know what you're talking about first before you say it.
Yeah. Never tell people who drank Arnold Palmer.
Who drink our Normal Palmer? I need that shirt so bad. And I will get it at some point. But yeah, I will tag spoilers in the description for this episode because I think I feel like this is among the series where it's like Twin Peaks. There's other movies where I feel like you just like you don't say what the thing is.
Yeah.
I feel like
Yeah, I mean, yeah. If it's dependent on the twist,
yeah.
like, not that I'm a huge fan of them, but like any M. Night Shyamalan movie, like, don't tell people because then there's no point in watching it in the first place and just
Yeah,
let people
like that's a little rude.
experience things, But something like this, like, could it have ended any other way except for him dying?
probably not, but still, just to be safe, because
Yeah, so it's
frankly,
not like a
I
big
googled
thing.
Death Note a couple times and found out nothing, and I'm glad that I didn't because it
Yeah.
honestly kind of would have ruined the experience for me. So,
If someone had come to me a few weeks ago and said, "Yeah, Light dies in the end," I'd be like, "Oh, good,
I
good." I
mean,
figured, but
yeah, but there were several points where I would have just been like, no fucking way.
yeah.
And I'm gonna steer the conversation forward before this turns into the stream.
But because this doesn't count as discussing the show, I sent you a picture
You
yesterday.
did, and holy shit,
I haven't read it yet, but I was just doing the,
the flip
flipping
through.
through it kind of thing. And first of all, a lot of Ryuk and apples, which makes me very happy.
Yeah!
Um, but just flipping through, and all of a sudden I'm like, holy shit, is that Donald Trump? And I was like, no way, it's probably just a character who looks like him. So I flipped a few pages around it, and somebody refers to it as Mr. President. Like, there it is.
Fucking hell.
Look at the close up of the mess.
When was this like, when were these written?
2019 is when this came out.
Fuck.
It's the complete collection of short stories by the original author of Death Note.
Well, I will be purchasing that, in addition to the other volumes of the Black edition of Death Note that I have already purchased.
I just thought that was insane. I can't
No,
wait to
that's
read that
wild.
story. I want to, because just wow.
That is
Wow.
wild. Next thing we have is something I have stolen from Ask Reddit once again.
Mm-hmm.
And Brooks, when you looked at this prior to us starting to record, you said that the post had been deleted, but
Well, there's a thing on the top that says, "Sorry, this post was deleted by the person who originally posted it." It doesn't appear in any feeds, and anyone with a direct link to it will see a message like this one. So apparently, the only way you can get to it is if you have a direct link. You won't be able to find it otherwise, is what it's saying. But the thread itself is still present.
Yeah, the thread is still present, so we can still see the comments, and frankly, the comments are what matters because the question in this Ask Reddit post is what's the most obscure opinion hill you're willing to die on? So I thought we could peruse the comments and share anything that sticks out and share maybe some opinions that we excuse me, share, don't share. Like one of the first ones that I'm seeing, when you're at a picnic and you go through the food line and the napkins and utensils are at the beginning, that shit belongs at the end. I don't know what utensils I need. I don't know what food I'm having. It's a waste of utensils, and I don't want to hang on to extra shit while I'm filling my plate. I agree with this so much, and I've never even thought about it before.
Yep. Absolutely. Yeah, the first one is about the newer Space Jam movie, which I've never seen. But that leads me to think about like all of the like movies or TV shows that people seem to universally hate, but you're like, no, I don't care what anyone says. This is awesome and amazing, and I love it. I think that's a broad category.
It's a very broad category, but also nothing is coming to mind for me personally. Like anything I can think of where people are like, this is bad, it's generally something where I'm also like, yes, this is bad, but I love it with my whole heart. For example, the Doctor Who TV movie, like it's atrocious.
Mm-hmm.
But I cannot watch it with another human being because I know they're going to make fun of it, but not from the same place of just like pure love that I am making fun of it from.
Yeah. Yeah, I know there is something like that, but I can't.
But like I don't have anything where I can't think of anything where I'm gonna be like, no, everyone else is wrong. This is actually good. Although I do like this comment by Reddit user Methylene Blue Stains. It should be illegal to have bushes on curbs that obscure oncoming traffic. You're so right, bestie.
Yeah, which I never understood that. Like, how is that legal? If you literally cannot see if anybody is coming, from the other direction, like what?
No, for real. I'm like, That's just asking for trouble in so many ways.
Oh, look, there's one for you. The album for a live musical is not a soundtrack, it's a cast recording.
Correct. Although I'm not particularly pedantic about that. One thing I will get kind of pedantic about is when people call a musical a play. I'm like, no, that's not what that is. You can
Here's
say
one I
show
didn't
for
know.
both, but a musical is a musical. It has songs, and a play, no songs, just dialogue.
Here's one I didn't even know was a thing that bothered me, but absolutely. And we've kind of talked about this, but in a different respect. Don't dig at the butter, just scrape it. And when we talked about this before, we were talking about fix
Oh,
the butter, but I'm
yeah.
talking like, the top of butter. You don't just like take a chunk out of it with a knife. You have to like scrape off the
No,
top.
I agree. Although I don't think I've ever been in a like tub butter household because like I've
Mm-hmm.
lived with roommates, you know, like if
Mm-hmm.
people were like, hey, I'm just gonna like buy this bulk item like milk or butter for the house, but I've never been in a tub butter household. But I agree.
Like to use the spreadable butter with the olive oil. Makes life easier to me. Oh. This is one that would not have thought of, but is absolutely a hill that I am willing to die on, and
Expl-
nobody seems to agree. Special underscore KC. Toilet seat up or down? No. Toilet lid down.
oh
All
yeah.
that shit. Lid closed at all times.
I mean,
This is
again,
something
he will try to drink out of the toilet if I don't.
this is something I'm very passionate about. And I when I try to get guests to do it, I usually say it's because of the cats, and that's partially true because they like to jump up there and they'll fall in. But I grew up in a household where you had to put the lid down. Like it was non-negotiable. We all had to do it. We got in trouble if we didn't.
Hmm.
But the one of the major reasons for that is when you flush a toilet, all the bacteria in the toilet bowl goes into the air and settles on things in your bathroom.
Which is why
And
you should
that is
have your toothbrush covered.
but that is just like so gross to me.
No, yeah, it's
Um
nasty.
and plus now I have this intense paranoia of dropping things in the toilet. Like if you're standing at a sink and your toilet's next to it, like I have up here, and I'm trying to like get ready for work and I got like mascara and if I drop it and it lands in the toilet,
Bad.
oh my God. No.
Bad day.
Toilet lid down every time, all the way. It takes like not even a full second
Yeah,
to put it up or,
I agree. Here's one specifically for you.
So
Everything we think we know about Captain Kirk is wrong. Constantly sleeping with women. False. He had only a small number of flings in the show, it was not a prevalent thing. Riker was far more prolific. Breaking rules all the time. False. Kirk was a strict, by the book military man who broke regs only in extreme circumstances. Shatner overacts. Mostly false. 99% of the time, he plays Kirk totally straight. There are a small number of wild moments on the show where Shatner plays it big, and those are the moments that have become infamous. However, they are the exception, not the norm.
I actually just came across that post as you were finishing reading it.
There you go.
Yeah, the Riker was far more prolific. Yeah, Riker would like have sex with anything that moved, pretty
Yeah.
much. Yeah, he I think people tend to have a lot of these beliefs because they haven't actually watched the show.
They just
All
know
they
it,
know
like,
are
via
memes and
popular culture.
yeah. Uh-huh.
Hot dogs and hot dog buns should be sold in packs of 8. Yes! Why are we selling. Like, why is it different numbers?
Mine are the same numbers.
Oh. According to this person, most every brand of hot dogs I see on the shelf sells in packs of 10, and it pisses me off. They sell buns in packs of 8. Huh.
I think like super cheap brands might do that. I don't know.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, no, I mine always come in packs of 8.
Interesting.
I like to get the Zweigel's like red hot and white hot combo pack, and there's 4 of each.
Hmm. Oh, yeah, this is one I agree with. The TV should not go above the fireplace.
Understand.
There's a
Why
whole
would they not
subreddit.
have them high up on their wall anyway?
No, there's a whole subreddit called r/TV2High, and it's all just like TVs that are too high up on the wall. They're infuriating. Your TV needs to be at eye level when you're sitting down.
You don't want to be like,
Yeah, I hate it.
that'll hurt your neck after a while. That's why I don't sit in like the front row of
That's why
movie
nobody
theater.
wants to sit in the front row of a movie theater.
Yeah, I don't get it.
The first reply to this comment is r/TV2High, and they're so right.
Uh-huh. Yeah, that really annoys me. I just don't get it. Interesting. Music attracts tornadoes.
I mean, statistically, you're not wrong, is the thing.
Oh. Just, yeah.
Oh, here's one that I think John Mulaney would definitely agree with. The word hero is overused and has no meaning anymore. Most of the time, it's applied to people who are just doing their jobs, which just makes me think of the bit he does about how, according to the New York Post, a hero is any man who does his job.
I was literally just about to read that one when you started reading it.
Why do we have
But
the same brain? But like, you know, where he's like, the New York Post will be like, hero tutor teaches after school, and you're like, yeah.
yeah. Yep. Gets paid to do that. Yep. There was a reply a little bit further up that was kind of related where it said like people with disabilities are not brave.
Oh my god, I
They're
know.
just living their damn lives.
Yeah, no, like
Like
they're
they
just
don't have a
there.
voice. Yeah, I never understood that. That like the word hero, the word brave gets thrown around in weird contexts that makes it kind of lose meaning.
I would agree.
I think there should be a separate compartment in the center of the washer and or dryer for socks.
Yeah, I don't know how you would do it necessarily, but I'm down for the concept. Ooh, this one might be getting into like a thorny sci-fi debate. Transporters, as depicted in Star Trek, but also often present in other sci-fi universes, are death boxes. In my opinion, they do not transport you. They scan you, then destroy you, and make a new copy in the target location. Since you're being rebuilt from the scan, which occurred while you were still alive, the new you is unaware of that fleeting moment when you realize it's not a transporter, it's a death machine. And since that millisecond of knowledge is missing from every person who ever transported, no one is able to come back and warn others. And to people observing the system, it appears that for all intents and purposes, that the person transported. As proof, I cite the multiple instances in Star Trek when a person is mistakenly transported more than once. One person enters, two people appear, or is only alive in the buffer. Yeah, okay. I mean,
It depends how you define what you is.
I don't think this podcast is the place to get into that because that's too deep for us.
No, I just mean like we're all just made up of matter.
Okay,
And the
yeah.
matter that you are currently made up of is not the matter that you were made up of 20 years ago. Because we are constantly generating and sloughing off and
Yeah.
so it's all just particles. And as long as your brain pattern is still there, what does it matter which particles make it up? So I kind of disagree. To me, the
Yeah.
you is your personality and brain
Yeah, you
pattern
know
is
what?
all the
I'm gonna take
personality
that side, honestly.
Yeah.
I like this person who just says breakfast food should be all day food too. Yeah, why is breakfast things that we consider breakfast food? Why are those the only ones we limit to a certain time of day? Bullshit.
It's not true because like if you try to like have some spaghetti for breakfast,
Listen, time is fake. We made it up.
yeah, yeah.
Do whatever you want. Eat soup for breakfast. Make yourself some scrambled eggs at 11 p.m. Do whatever you want. It is all fake. We made it all up.
Yep. We invented all these foods.
Yeah.
Like, we didn't invent eggs, obviously, but the process of scrambling them, that's a thing we made up. And we just decided that was for the morning hours for some reason.
Yeah. Ridiculous.
As though we don't eat eggs in the evening, too, just in different forms.
Yeah.
Like using them to hold a meatloaf together, for example.
Precisely.
She's now jumped into my lap 3 times.
This is insane.
Yeah, that's... Who even is this cat? Maybe they replaced her. I don't know who they is, but...
I like this person who said newborn babies are ugly and I'm tired of pretending they're not. You're so right.
Yeah.
I, again, don't like kids, never having them, but like the fresh ones, they look like they're not done yet.
Yeah, I mean, we clearly are not kid people.
No,
I just never...
very much not.
Yeah, I just never...
And like, here's the thing, I'm not immune to like any and all quote unquote cute kid videos. Like sometimes I will see a video of like a 3-year-old doing something that is like objectively adorable, like when they're friends with a little baby chick. That's kind of cute. Or when they fall asleep on top of a dog. Amazing.
Yeah.
But like when they're still like, they look raw. Is the only way is one of the only ways I can put it. It's bad. I don't like it, and I don't know why people pretend they do. I mean, like, I know if it's your child, like, you are, biologically programmed to...
Behind you.
Yeah, it's my child. Oh, he's not biting it yet.
Okay, I can't tell because your microphone is, like, just placed where I can see that he's at the lights.
Have you decided to just stare? Because, like, that's something I can live with. No? Okay.
The one exception for me, if I see a video of a laughing baby, like a kid, like 1-year-old sees something funny and then they start laughing sometimes, that is, like, very enjoyable.
It's kind of cute.
Just, like, the pure joy of it.
Boo-boo. Look at the
Great.
camera, bud. Or don't.
Nope. He's shy.
No. Yeah. Babies are gross looking. I don't like them.
Oh man, that like the transporter thing. There's so much nerd talk.
Oh, I'm sure that's a whole separate...
Oh man, it's so intense.
I'm sure.
Busting out Deep Space Nine. Julian Bashir, Dr. Bashir.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And they're pointing out specific episode names. In Realm of Fear, Reginald Barclay. And he's...
I like this one that just says deleted user, which is sad because they're so correct. The Oxford comma is correct.
Oh, I saved you a meme just earlier today.
Oh my god. Wonderful. This will be linked.
What a coincidence. Hold on. Let me find it. Which one is it? Because I saved a bunch of things today. I'll have to look. I don't know where it is.
Okay.
I know I saved it.
Save that for later then. But it will be linked.
Yes. Once I find it. Maybe that was not oh, it was just not today. My days blend together. There you go.
What do we got?
The most compelling argument for the Oxford comma.
Oh, is it the strippers, JFK, and Stalin thing?
Nope.
Oh.
There's 3 examples in it, actually, and none of them are that.
Amazing. Okay, well, it hasn't come through yet, so...
Interesting. So the... Oh, yeah, it's still showing the little wheel. So there are 3 different sentences in this image. The first one is, among those interviewed were Merle Haggard's two ex-wives, Chris Christopherson and Robert Duvall.
Yeah, there
So,
you go.
insinuating those are his ex-wives. Um, the second one, this book is dedicated to my parents, comma, Ayn Rand and God.
Yeah, no, the Oxford comma is simply correct.
Yeah. The final one is, highlights of Peter Ustinov's global tour include encounters with Nelson Mandela, comma, an 800-year-old demigod and a dildo collector. I never knew those things about Nelson
Yeah, who
Mandela.
knew?
800-year-old demigod and dildo collector. Yeah. Yeah. I am 100% pro Oxford, comma, all the way. I will fight people to the death. Technically, in AP Associated Press style, you are supposed to omit the comma, but that's because of the printed word and having limited page space.
Yeah, no, who cares? Oh, this one. Jazz and classical music are not the only kinds of music that are academically viable for instruction. Yeah.
Opera. I think they also consider that to be academically viable.
So, like, pretentious music
Yeah,
is
yeah,
not the
yeah.
only music that is viable for instruction. And I'm gonna say, yeah, hard agree. Because, like, that's not what 99% of people are listening to.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think we can extend beyond that to like movies and things of that nature
Oh,
as well.
100%.
Like every film studies class is just this like really pretentious.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, no, I want to see somebody do like an in-depth analysis of some ridiculous, stupid comedy.
Please.
Yeah.
This whole thread is golden.
Yeah, mm-hmm.
The US penny is obsolete and we need to stop minting them. Correct. Why are we wasting our time and energy? Like, there's so many things about this country where it's just like, just nobody wants it. Just rip the fucking band aid off. Just keep daylight savings time. Just stop with the pennies.
Maybe bolder take, get rid of coins entirely.
I feel like that would be a little harder, just because technically there are some things that, not that, like, you need to keep, for example, the coin operated laundry machine
Uh-huh.
around if there are no coins. I feel like it would be a little harder to phase that out because you can't just like
Yeah.
make that happen overnight, you know?
Yeah, no, I'm not saying it wouldn't be difficult. I'm just saying it's a thing that should be done. Because change, like, people throw away change
Yeah.
because it just gets in the way. You end up with tons of change, like in your wallet or whatever, and it's just heavy and cumbersome. Like, there are ways around it. Um, at the very least, you could at least replace it with a different kind of bill if you want to keep
Okay,
it.
here's another red
You
hot
know?
take. Color code money in the US.
Yeah. Why does like every other country have
Every
better
other
money?
country has like fun color coded bills.
Canadian money is super.
I I just
Like a
want to be
clear.
like, I still have rubles from when I went to Russia, and they're like different colored based on like the amount that the bill is worth. Like, and I know that someone out there is gonna be like, oh haha, Americans are so stupid, but like, I just want to be able to glance in my wallet and know what I'm grabbing. Like, without having to be like, oh, that's a 10, I need it, like, oh, that's a 1, that's
Uh,
a 10, I need a 5. Like, I just want to know at a glance, bro.
my truth has nothing to do with the truth. It's called an opinion. Stop trying to make your opinion more than an opinion.
Here's the thing, yes, but we also seem to have, like, entered into a world where, like, the notion of objective truth is, like, slipping further and further out of public consciousness,
Yes.
which is, like, horrifying.
Well, that's that person's point because they say, my truth, and it's like, well, no, there's truth
Yeah.
and there's opinions.
Yeah.
Quit misusing the word because,
Mm-hmm. Hmm. Ooh, Ooh, here's a hot take. Here's a high fantasy hot take. Necromancy is not inherently evil. It's just icky. Raising the dead to do your bidding is nowhere near as bad as overriding the will of a living human being. Okay. Memory manipulation is always worse than making corpses do something. By the way, if you are using corpses to kill people, that's murder. Just how changing someone's memories to force them to kill someone is murder. Yeah, okay. I mean, if they're dead anyway, and you want to make a skeleton wield a sword, if you're willing to do the gross work of necromancy, alright.
I suppose this goes back to the transporter argument, because if the person you have raised from the dead there's like no trace of that person's mind left, right? No memories of who they are or awareness.
I think this doesn't seem to be referencing a specific sort of like fantasy universe. Like it's not clear whether they're like talking about like D&D or Lord of the Rings or XYZ. But I think in a couple at least, or like in some depictions of necromancy that I can like call to mind in a lot of video games, they are kind of just like mindless meat sacks and / or skeletons.
Yeah, I mean, if that's the case, then it's just matter at that point.
Yeah, so like, I mean, if that's the form of necromancy that we're dealing with, like, yeah, fuck it, make the skeleton wield a sword. Who cares?
I mean, I suppose it kind of depends, though, because in some cultures, like due to their religious beliefs, that would be really messed up.
That would be really messed up, but again, like a Skyrim type deal where, like, it's not this universe. So, like, we kind of don't have the issue of, like, what particular existing religions in this universe might think about, like, burial practices.
I feel like anywhere you go, there's going to be some religious group that has that. Like, even in an alternate fantasy world.
Perhaps.
Because people get real weird about death. I think it's fine, as long as you get consent from the family.
Yeah.
You know, because to be honest, like, if somebody was like, hey, so when you're dead, like, would you mind if someone, like, brought your body back to life to do their bidding? And I'd be like, hell no, give me something to sign.
Yeah, no, that'd be kind of... Or, like, here's a scenario I'm thinking of, like a D&D type vibe. And I've never actually played D&D. This is just, like, a thing that's potentially coming to my mind. I am thinking about this as a person who has played, like, Skyrim and Dark Souls. So, like, I'm gonna say, as long as you know that you are not using the corpse of a theoretical group of people in a fantasy universe that have beliefs regarding death, where it's like the bones are supposed to stay where they are type deal, it's fine. So, like, if you're a necromancer, you and your party you're, like, in a dungeon, you're in a pickle, and there's just, like, bones everywhere of previous adventurers that have failed, yeah, go nuts. Use them to get out. Use them to, you know, mow through your enemies and survive.
Yeah, I mean, they weren't properly buried anyways. It's not like you're disturbing their rest or whatnot, as people say. Yeah, I feel like people tend to get weirdly attached to the physical form of people.
I have tweeted this already. When I die, every single one of my friends is entitled to one of my bones.
I'm gonna be like, just take whatever's still usable and give it to people. You know?
Scrape out my organs.
Yeah, take all the good stuff, use that.
Scrape out my organs. Anyone who needs them can have them. But my skeleton, all of my friends get a bone.
Ooh, which bone?
First come, first serve. No one has claimed theirs yet.
Oh man, I'd have to think about it.
You want my skull? You can have it.
Can I make it into something decorative?
Go for it. Put crystals in my eye sockets. Make me into a bowl.
I was thinking more the bowl. Well, no, because it would be upside down. That would feel disrespectful.
You can
just like cut off the top and make that a bowl, and then
bowl with lid.
I cut off the top and then flip it over and then rest it on your skull.
Okay, so great. Or again, bowl with lid.
I don't know what kind of candy. What's your favorite candy? I'll make sure I
I
do
like a
that.
good Reese's, Twix, and Kit Kats.
All right, just put them all in there.
Yes. So anyone who's watching this and is one of my friends who wants one of my bones, I'm gonna say
Yeah,
that this is legally binding. Brooks gets my skull.
yeah. Actually, I think that's technically illegal, but
What? No, I'm giving. This is me giving official consent. Every single one of my friends can have one of my bones when I die.
well, I say that because I think Marcus mentioned it on last pod at one point
Shit.
that it's technically illegal. The only reason he has the skulls that he has is because they like predated something.
Oh, I'm gonna look
I don't
up what the deal in New York State is because I want to give these shits away.
Yeah, donate whatever can be donated, and then what's left if people want to use it for like science experiments and stuff to help,
Yeah,
help us move forward for the
scrape out all the
betterment of
good stuff.
mankind. Yeah,
My skull has been spoken for. Maybe my jawbone is still up for grabs though.
mandibles attached.
Not when there's no muscle.
I'm gonna attach it.
Fine, okay. So you technically get two. Well, technically
Well, because
more
I
than that,
can.
because my teeth are still there.
Well, the human body has like what 208 bones or
Yeah, I
something
do
like
have a
that.
lot of bones, and like
Yeah,
depending on like how like finely you split it up,
yeah.
like if you're gonna count every single one of your individual teeth as a bone, I'm gonna say more than that.
Do they count them? I know they're made out of the same material, but I don't know if they include them in that like count or not, or if they just kind of put them in their own category.
I feel like they might be in their own category because
Yeah,
they're exposed.
yeah. That's what I was thinking.
Anyway, yeah, first come, first serve.
Yeah, I really want my funeral to be like a party too. Like none of
No,
that
this is another
depressing
like
shit.
not to get. I don't know why we're going down such a dark path here, but
This is like the opposite of dark. We're being
yeah,
joyful
we
and
are having fun with it.
yeah.
You're allowed. Frankly, if people aren't a little sad when I die, I will have like truly fucked up. Like, be a little sad. I will give you that permission, but also, but you can be as sad as you want. My funeral, it better be a fucking rager.
Yeah.
You put it,
Um
be as sad as you want,
yeah.
put it aside for that one day, turn the hell up, and then you can be hungover and cry the next day.
You can be sad and rage at the same
You can be,
time.
yeah, you can be sad and rage at the same time. Go for it.
Yeah. I require good music, especially music that I enjoyed.
Yes.
And I expect there to be a lot I want it to be more like a wake, like a lot of drinking. And you can listen to the music and do a lot of drinking and like tell stories about me and stuff. Like that's what I'd
Go
prefer. I
hard.
mean, I won't be there, but
I do not plan a funeral for me if there's not a dance floor at the venue. I'm not kidding.
yeah, no, literally every
Anyone who
funeral.
has like ever like gone out with me or like spent any amount of time with me in like a like hang like not just like in like a hanging out type context, you know a bitch loves to boogie.
Yeah, I would make sure that they played all of the Ghost and Powerwolf and Rammstein,
Yes. Oh
during
my
the
god,
Greta Van
yes.
Fleet and the Struts and all that. That's the thing. Like, I feel like I've been to a lot of funerals, and now we're just on a whole funeral thing. But
I mean, that's fine. We didn't
we're,
plan on getting here, but this is where we've ended up.
I still think this is entertaining.
I'm
So,
very entertained.
um, like, I've been to, unfortunately, a lot of funerals, and they always do the same thing, right? They play like the really solemn, somber music. Everybody's wearing their like dark clothing and looking very demure, and nobody wants to speak too loudly, and it's like that doesn't match the person that we're mourning.
No.
You know,
The only reason, I mean, here's the thing.
this
Wear
bitch
black
would
to my
be,
funeral, but like wear it in like a cool goth way, not in like a sad way.
yeah. I would say just dress like you were coming to a party at my house and act like you were at a party at my house. Like that's what I want.
Yeah. No.
That's dress however you want. Be ABC. Always be cozy.
Always be
That's it.
cozy.
And Kisselism.
I was literally just about to say, my boy, Kissel. But yeah. So now that I have some of my last wishes squared away, accidentally, but hey, they're in a public forum now, so
Yeah,
like,
and they're recorded. Yeah, they'll be on the
yeah,
internet. So our wishes are out there now. That's great.
great.
Yeah.
I think that's good. And I think that's a wonderful way to bring us to the weekly worsening.
Make as much use
Shockingly,
of my
I still
costume.
have more things.
Interesting. Okay, like what?
Um, I
Oh, you finally got
I
it.
bought one
That's
of
right.
the cursed ass bootleg Cardinal Copia plushies, and I love it
Nice.
so much.
Nice.
And anyone who's made the mistake of following me on Twitter has seen me reply. People who don't listen to Ghost slash are not in like the Ghost fandom, it's kind of a meme for people to like post pictures and videos of themselves just like abusing their plushias. And I have taken
Mhm.
I have edited a meme specifically because I was sending this to people so much whenever I saw people posting pictures of them like choking the life out of this little guy. Um and it just says touch him gently. And I send that to people. Like I reply to that. I comment that on tweets of people abusing the Copia plushie. Um and now I finally have one. And like for like weeks now, my Twitter display name has been Plushia Defender, and everyone in the Ghost group chat has been just like going out of their way to remind me of the extent to which they abuse theirs. But yeah, now I finally have one, and I can live up to the thing that I tell other people to do, which is touch him gently. So we've got that. We've got the fact that I have finished Chainsaw Man. I have purchased what technically counts as the first 4 volumes of Death Note. It just keeps getting worse, bro. I'm considering subscribing to the Shonen Jump app
Oh, yeah.
because Chainsaw Man is ongoing and releases weekly, and it's like it's translated like an
Hmm.
hour after it drops in Japan, and a bitch wants to know.
Yeah. Yeah.
I made a weeb group chat.
I was about to say that.
Like, we are in a downward spiral.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm way worse this week, but I'm having fun.
Yeah, we're really like for a while we were just sort of teetering on the edge of anime slash manga world.
And now
And
it's
then,
just
with Banana Fish, like we were teetering like, oh, Banana Fish, we enjoyed that. Wait, should we do another like anime? Oh yeah, let's do Death Note, and then we start rocking even more.
Death Note
And
is
then,
what like pulled us
well, it's
over.
what started doing this, and I think it was Toricon weekend when we
That
started
was the
watching
final nail
Chainsaw
in the
Man that we
coffin.
went, um,
Yep,
down
it's
into
bad.
it.
It's real bad, and
So
I'm
we had,
sure it's
we had
going to get worse.
well, yeah, because I want to start reading Spy Family because it was recommended to me very highly
Oh, I was
multiple
gonna
times.
ask you if you wanted to watch, like, not like simultaneously because I think that would be too difficult to organize, but like, do you want to watch Attack on Titan with me and Kyle?
Could do that.
Okay, cool. So, did you have anything like you were like specifically saving for this, or like does that cover it?
I mean, a lot of my worsening of this week is related to like, the fact that I bought the
Love
entire
it.
Death Note box set and,
Beautiful.
this. I think somehow and the whole insomnia thing made me worse too.
And like
Um,
I can't put my finger on how, but
no,
it definitely didn't help.
but I'm definitely worse. Um, yeah, I mean, I feel like this is I had something else, but I can't remember what it was at this moment.
And I know as soon as we stop recording, you're gonna be like, shit.
Yeah, probably. I did get a new coffee table that was
Oh
brought to
yeah,
me.
how'd that go? Are you a
Yeah,
fan?
it's so nice to have one that isn't falling apart. It's
Rip
nice.
to where was that? Where was the OG coffee table from?
IKEA.
Rip to that IKEA coffee table that would fall apart at the slightest breeze. She served us well.
That thing, it's like it's the bottom of the line, like cheapest one they had at IKEA because I got it when I was starting grad school. So that thing has lasted 15 years.
Rip to a real one.
I mean, it never technically fell apart, but like the shelf was always like a hair's breadth away
Oh
from
yeah,
falling.
no, she was teetering.
Yeah, and it was very scratched up and things, mostly because of the cats. Like I got scratches all over this desk because of my cats, but
My, you've seen this, my like kind of crappy like pleather storage ottoman that I had for the entirety of college has like little bits of fluff coming out of it now because of
Mhm.
the man.
They destroy everything.
They destroy everything, but he is repairing my worm-filled brain.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So like
They earn it.
again, like the crime rate in my house is up 40,000%, but like I am healed, bro.
Yeah, I so it's nice. And then I started thinking like, oh, I want to make the things that I put on the shelf look really nice. And I got a tissue box cover that looks like a stack of books.
Fantastic. Huge fan.
Yeah, I'm not the like the whole box doesn't actually fit in it. You have to like take the
Mm.
tissues out of the box, and you can't even fit a whole box's worth in there. So I'm a little on the
Mm.
fence about whether I'm going to keep it. I've been looking up how to make my own because I
We're so sane.
yeah, because I'm getting out of hand now with the just like making everything myself.
I know.
Because
I've
like
seen the. I mean, I'm doing the same thing again. I have. This is going to be the third time I've brought this up during this segment. $200 worth of fabric for a cosplay. Hell,
like
I upgraded my hat for my Wirt cosplay last night. Now it matches the fabric lining of the cape.
nice. Yeah, I mean I made my toilet lid cover.
Oh, that was successful.
I gotta redo the sewing. It's a whole thing, but
Love it.
mostly
But
done.
your sewing machine
Um,
didn't die with the carpet.
it did not. I put on my even feed walking foot
That's so
for
fun.
clothing. Yeah. The main problem is like the way that you have to lay it down. Like it kind of takes out some of the like
Hmm.
it's hard to explain. Anyway, but I did that, and then I was trying to find like a basket to put things in on my new coffee table shelf, and I couldn't find anything I liked, so I started crocheting one.
Great.
And now I'm all like, oh, maybe I'll make my own tissue box cover, and I'm like, what? Just buy things. You don't have time for this. But my basket is looking pretty badass.
I am very
Super
excited
cool.
to see that.
Yeah. I did remember the thing. I got my tie for power.
Yes. Are you actually doing
It's
that?
happening. Oh, I have the tie. I'm committed now.
Are you? But are you gonna get the contacts?
That's the intent. I got still like a month or so.
Hell yeah. Oh, there's no point in me announcing this on here, but like I'm gonna do it anyway. I've decided that I'm saving the Terzo cosplay for Mid Hudson Comic Con because
Oh,
I don't have time, TM, and I want to actually do it well and not rush through it. So what I'm finally gonna do, I guess this is kind of relevant because I've only ever worn this cosplay for Halloween and once on the podcast, which was also I've worn it twice on Halloween. I'm finally taking SpongeBob to a
SpongeBob.
convention, which I'm really excited about because I think that's just gonna be an excellent vibe.
Oh, be wearing ties. And what a weird combo.
What a strange combo! Oh my god, I could make you a
How
giant like weapon, like a foam weapon.
blood weapon, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna cosplay Power at some point, absolutely. So like, that's just a thing I'm gonna do anyway. So if I make it ahead of time, you
Yeah.
can totally use it because I'm gonna steal your tie when I when I do it.
Yeah, I mean I got my list of things. I already know which pants I'm wearing and,
Nice,
gotta get my fangs and my contacts and
nice. I already have actually because I ordered the contact, or I'm only gonna be using one of them, but the contacts that I need for Terzo, and the website was like, oh, buy one get one free. So I got the white contacts for various ghost cosplays and the like Target contacts for Power.
nice.
Love of my life. Which one am I referring
Yeah,
to? Doesn't matter.
I I haven't quite committed yet because I'm trying to decide if I want to even try to do a wig. I might try.
Ooh.
Because I feel like I really want it for the aesthetic, but I don't know if I can tolerate it.
I mean,
So I'm trying to decide.
I think especially like a character with like the kind of like, crazy anime hair color, like you can get cheaper ones that still look pretty good.
Oh yeah, I mean it's not the money part, it's can I wear a thing on my head all day?
I mean,
because my head hurts.
you could try.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know if I should even bother trying since I can't even wear like headbands. I might. I might get it and try it out around the house and just see how it goes.
Well, keep us updated.
Yeah, but that I think that counts for worsening because
Oh, 100%.
Excluding like Halloween as a kid, I've never purchased a wig, so.
Amazing. I love being a bad influence on you.
I think this is the first tie I've ever owned.
Cool.
Mm-hmm. It's very nice.
I don't know what counts as owning a tie because I definitely like stole some of my dad's for like a costume day at school when I was a kid because my dad had like a 9 to 5 business job.
Yeah.
The first time I purchased a tie was in college for the SpongeBob cosplay. So, and now that you know a bunch of information about us that you didn't need to know, didn't ask for, and isn't relevant whatsoever to this podcast, this is literally just us talking.
That's every week.
I mean, that's every week, but like sometimes we try a little.
I think we were trying.
Yeah. But yeah, that's it. That's all, folks.
Yeah. Yeah.
As always, thank you for fighting with us, friends. We appreciate each and every single one of you, and we'll be back again next week. Adios. This week's episode of the Fighting with Friends podcast was hosted by Bridget Kelly and Dr. Sarah Brooks. You can find other episodes of the podcast on YouTube, iTunes, Spotify, or your other favorite listening platform. Follow us on Twitter at BridgetKelly98 and at AndSarahSaid. Rate and review us on your podcatcher of choice. Like, comment, and subscribe to us on YouTube. Follow us on Twitch and Facebook, and join our Discord community using the links in the description. You can also help support us via the Acast supporter feature, or consider donating to our Patreon for early access to episodes and fun bonus content. Thanks for listening!